Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome to my newest Let's Play. Welcome to Rare's answer to Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong Racing. Starring Timber, Bumper, Conker, Tip Top, Drumstick, Pipsy, Banjo, Crunch, the villain of this game, Wizpig, and of course the main hero, Diddy. Hello everyone, welcome to Diddy Kong Racing. After the success of Mario Kart 64 in the beginning era of the Nintendo 64, Rare also wanted to try that same formula of a family fun racing game and created one of their own. And that became Diddy Kong Racing. Rare, of course, still being the proud owner of the rights to the Donkey Kong franchise, they decided to actually make use of that franchise and create their own racing game. Even though it doesn't really feel like a Donkey Kong game in all honesty, it uses Diddy Kong instead of Donkey Kong as the main hero. And besides Crunch being in the game, who's clearly a Kremling, all of the other connections to the Donkey Kong franchise are a little bit far-fetched, I feel. So this deck it feels a little bit more like an all-star racing game when it comes to Rare, since it also makes use of characters like Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day and Banjo and Tip Top from Banjo-Kazooie, of course. But still, it is definitely a very fun game to play. Rare took things a little bit differently, more story in this game, so not just going through all of the cups like in Mario Kart 64, there's actually a story present in this game, and that's actually something I will be covering in order to show this game off fully. But before we get started, let's quickly take care of the option mode, so we can say we have covered that already. We have multiple pretty standard options in this game, to be honest. We have a language section. We can actually set the language to English or French. Allow me to put it on English. You can put the subtitles on and off. Yes, there are spoken dialogues in this game. You can actually choose to leave the subtitles on or off. The audio options aren't too special. You can just adjust the sound effects like you can in most games. You can even press the A to test it out. And the music volume. Nothing too special here. So let's move on to the next option. The save options are actually the erase game options, you might say. They're split in two different categories, game pack bonuses and times, which is basically just the regular game save data, you might say. And we also have the times, which are the time trial records. Both of them you can actually erase throughout this option. But since this is an empty file, I don't have anything to erase, so allow me to ignore it for now. The magic codes option is actually for the cheat menu. What is a Rare game without any cheats? This game also has them. I will cover them later if I will cover them, but for now let's just ignore the cheats. But do remember there are a couple of cheats in this game, which you can use to enhance your gameplay somewhat. But okay, those are the options. Let's get started with the true game, because talking about Diddy Kong Racing is fun and everything, but the most fun way is to play this game. I did introduce you to all of the characters in this game. We have the main hero, Diddy Kong. Would be weird if the guy the game is called after wouldn't be in it. So, of course. We have Bumper, Banjo, we have Timber, we have Pipsy, we have Tip Top, Conker, and Crunch. Crunch would normally be my favorite character in this game, but he's a heavyweight, and heavyweights are actually really hard to control in this game, I always thought. So, in order to complete the story, I will not be playing as him, but I will be playing as Tip Top, my second favorite character. I've decided to cover the story with one and the same character, and it's not going to be Crunch, unfortunately. But Tip Top, our little turtle friend from Banjo-Kazooie, he's going to be the one I play this game with. And don't worry, I have other plans for the other characters. Eventually we'll see everybody, but I'll try to cover the time trial mode with all of the other characters. But the story, in order to make that feel like a true story, I will try to play with the same character entirely. And that's going to be Tip Top. And speaking of that story, that is actually the adventure mode. Whenever you are in the game, you selected your character, you have two options, adventure and Treecks. Treecks is just the time trial mode, you might say, the way to play this game loosely, kinda like Mario Kart 64. But adventure is the story mode of this game. The first racing game that actually has a story mode. Interesting to see how that will play out. Let's input my initials in 3 letters, that is always TRX. Now let's get started with the story. It all takes place on an island belonging to Timber the Tiger, or his parents basically. One of the characters we saw in the introduction. His parents actually went on a vacation, and during that time the evil Wizpig, also the guy we saw as the villain in the introduction, he actually took over the place. He even built himself a statue here, as you can see. And it's up to the local animals here, all of the other characters you might say, to team up with Timber and actually defeat the Wizpig and get him off his island. We even get the help from Tosh, the genie of the island. He's going to be our main navigator throughout this adventure. Let's let him do the talking.
I am the genie of the island. I'm here to help you. Good luck.
Okay, and with that, we finally get control. And with control, I can also immediately start going over the controls. We use the control stick in order to steer around, but first we need to make sure we actually move around. Press the A button to accelerate and the B button to brake. Use the control stick while accelerating to actually do some cornering. You can actually do some sharp turns by holding the R button to do some sliding for sharper turns. You can use the Z button to use items, or if you don't have any items, it's just going to be a horn. We can even do some advanced techniques like combining the brake and the sliding button to do even more tight cornering. Kinda like this. Those are going to be the basic controls we're going to have to work with throughout this racing game. But okay, let's get started freeing this island from the evil Wizpig. How are we going to do that? Well, by entering the racing hubs. All of them actually require balloons in order to open them up. The first one is handed to us for free, as you can see, just hovering before the first racing hub. One is required to open it up, and since we have one, we can immediately go in to the first hub, which is Dino Domain. And in here, you will find multiple doors, which actually lead to the racing tracks of this game. Just like with the main hub door, you actually need a certain amount of balloons in order to enter them, as you can see. We even have a big door here. This one is mysterious. Talking about that one later. We also have this guy running around throughout these hubs. Let's go see who he is.
Hi there, I'm TT.
You can ask me about your game status or select my time trial mode to practice a level. I can also save your best ghosts. Okay, as you can see, you can actually talk to this guy to look at your game progress so far, or even do some time trials if you want to practice the tracks first. That's what this guy is for. But let's go in the first level, Ancient Lake. Let's get started with this game, finally. We know the controls, but now let's use them while racing. On the tracks, a couple of things are interesting. As you can see, we have bananas lying around. These actually function as the coins, comparing this game to Mario Kart 64. The more you have in your possession, the more you accelerate a little bit. We also have some items. As you can see, whenever we pick up red balloons, we receive a projectile weapon. Pick up more red balloons in order to upgrade that weapon. It now is a homing missile. The first time it's a regular missile, the second time it becomes a homing missile. And the third upgrade is actually 10 missiles. The projectile weapons of this game. Use this to hit other racers to slow them down. That's basically the red balloons. Okay, the red balloons aren't everything. And these dash planes are also a thing, but these kind of speak for themselves. Go over them to go faster. Okay, let's go talk about the blue balloons in a minute. First, there's actually something else we need to grab. In this level, we actually find this key all the way at the back here. And trust me, you're also going to want to bring this along for something later on. I'm ahead by a lot, since this is the very first race. Not too difficult yet. Okay, let's go talk about the blue balloons. These are the booster items. Just like with the red balloons, you can also upgrade these in multiple stages. The more you have, the more powerful they become. This was still a very short first little track, you might say, so we'll be seeing the items in their full glory later on. But at least I'm able to tell you what they do. And once you win the race, Tarsh will come in and give you a new balloon. Giving us 2 in total for now. And that's basically how this game works. Okay, the key we just got also unlocks something. Actually also for one of the doors in this racing hub, Dino Domain. That locked door is now unlocked. And yeah, might as well take a look at that immediately. The second stage is also unlocked. As you can see, there is a door here leading to Fossil Canyon, requiring 2 balloons. We have 2, so we could also do that. But let's take a look at that key door, because that also is something noteworthy in this game. This is actually for this game's quote-unquote battle mode. Even that is present in this game. And let's go show off the first one. Fire Mountain. The first player to hatch 3 eggs will win. Kinda like in Mario Kart 64, in this game there are also modes that aren't necessarily for racing. The battle mode, I always call it. In this case, a mode where we actually try to fly around the stage getting dinosaur eggs and bringing them back to our home base. And the first one to actually get 3 of them will win. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I said flying across this stage. Whoever told you Diddy Kong Racing was just with karts? We also have airplanes. Hell yeah. This is actually the first time we're going to use them, but there's actually also a couple of racing tracks making use of airplanes, but we'll see those later. This is our introduction to the flying of Diddy Kong Racing. Something I'm not the biggest fan of, because I am not the biggest pro in controlling this, in all honesty. But luckily this battle mode isn't too difficult. The way you actually want to take care of this is, the moment there aren't any new eggs in the middle, you're going to want to try to steal them from your opponents, because only hatched eggs will count towards your score. If an egg is placed on a player's home base, but is not hatched yet, you can actually steal them and place them on your own home base. If they're actually on your home base for long enough, it will hatch, some ice will pop out, and you can no longer steal it, and it counts as a point. And the first one to actually get 3 of them will win. Oh. Banjo also tried to steal this one, it looks like. But I got it first. Okay, let's place it. Okay, my first 2 eggs both hatched, looks like. Okay, let's use the remaining time to actually show off a new type of item. These yellow balloons. These are actually shields. Use this to become invulnerable for a short time. And my egg got stolen. Dang it, Banjo. Okay, I'm not stealing that one. Dang it, Crunch. Let's see if Banjo has something for me. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's place it, and let's actually protect it this time. I was hoping I was able to show off some more items, but apparently my presence here is actually required. No, Diddy. Go away. Okay, he didn't take my egg, luckily. Okay, and apparently my egg hatched, giving me the 3rd one, and I win. And what do we get as a reward for winning this mode? Because unlike the races, we're actually not going to receive a balloon for this. But what do we get?
You won first prize.
Cool! You have a piece of the TT amulet. You have 3 more to collect. Good luck. Okay, a TT amulet. Apparently that's also something we're collecting throughout this adventure. No context for what it is quite yet. But trust me, we'll find out later. But anyway, that was the introduction to the battle mode and the flying of this game. Let's move on to Fossil Canyon. Let's return to our normal karts for now. Do another regular race. Just to be clear, there's no key to collect in this course. It was only in the first course. There's only one key per racing hub. And just remember, it's not always in the first course, but there is always one key present in every racing hub. Luckily for this one we already have it, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, let's go show off a couple of new things. Because we have not seen everything yet, not even by a long shot. These green balloons, for instance. These items are actually the quote-unquote bananas of this game. And I don't mean the bananas we're collecting here, but I'm talking in Mario Kart terms again. The green balloons actually give us an oil slick or a spiked ball. And these are actually items we can actually throw behind us, hindering the other opponents. The first stage of this weapon is a simple oil slick that only hinders you lightly. The spiked ball you actually get hindered by a lot more. You actually tumble over the moment you hit those. And let's go see if we can show off stage number 3. Because of course this item also has 3 stages, like they all do. Here we have stage number 3, the bubble. The moment you actually hit this, you actually get captured by it and you get stopped for a pretty long time. This is actually really annoying to get hit by. It isn't the 3rd stage for nothing. Okay, let's try to show off the 3rd stage of the booster item. It's always something I really love using. For that I do need to find 3 blue balloons, and that is a rare sight, so not counting on that happening now quite yet. One other thing I can address, these boosters we find on the racing track itself, the normal booster panels, you can actually increase your boost speed if you actually release the A button the moment you hit them. But I am pretty sure the game actually tells that little mechanic on its own at some point, so I won't address it too much here. Just remember, the moment I hit a booster panel, I actually release the acceleration button for a short time, so you actually boost a little bit faster. But okay, this was still pretty easy. We do have time for one more, I think. Let's go see which one has opened up. This one, the 3 balloon door, leading to Jungle Falls. Oh yeah, it's this one. This one is a little bit shorter than the other 2 tracks, but it has a little bit more tight cornering. So it's definitely a lot more technical than we've been doing so far. Let's go see if we can find... No, missing that one. Wanted to say... Oh, oops. Yeah, you don't want to fall off the bridge here. You fall in the water and lose a lot of time. Okay, for the first time the opponents seem to be challenging me a little bit, since I'm behind a little bit. Let's grab as many bananas as you can for some extra speed. Oh. Yeah, I'm really bad when it comes to aiming the regular missiles. I'm definitely a much bigger fan of the homing missiles, the 2nd stage of that item. The regular missiles I'm really bad at aiming. Come on, Diddy. I know you're supposed to be the hero of this game, but I'd like to win. Okay, let's go see if we can show off the 3rd stage of the booster. My favorite item to use, but we haven't seen it a single time yet. Let's go collect 3 blue balloons. Oh, these ones are a little too hard to avoid. Yeah, this is also not really the track in order to see the hyper booster. Perhaps for next time. Okay, because of the silly mistake in the first lap, I actually had to work for this victory a little bit more. But it still wasn't too much of a problem. In this cutscene you can actually skip by pressing the A button. I think I'll do that most of the times. It's going to be the same cutscene every single time you receiving the balloon, so don't have to look out for that. Okay, but if we look at our map, we will see we need 5 balloons in order to access the final racing track here. However, we only have 4. What did we miss? Nothing in this world, trust me. In order to get that 5th balloon, we actually need to go out of this hub again. There's something in the main hub that we actually need to get before we can continue on here. If you remember, the first balloon we got was actually in the main hub, just floating around. However, it's not the only one just floating around. There is another one. Well, that one is way too high up. That one's literally floating around. In order to solve that problem, we're actually going to want to talk to Tosh. Because he's not running around here for nothing. There's a function for him. We can talk to him in order to change vehicles. Remember that plane that we did the battle mode with? We can actually change into that. Even on the main overworld. So, let's go fly around in the main hub now. And actually grab ourselves a 5th balloon. Apparently we need it in order to do the final racing track. And like I promised, I suck with the airplane in this game. So all of the racing tracks I have to do with the plane are going to be hell. But okay, 2nd time's the charm. Yeah, now I got it. 5 balloons in hand. Let's return the Dino domain, because now we can finish it. I really suck with the airplane. I think I need to do some practicing with this in between episodes, otherwise this project is going to be one big disaster. Okay. With a lot of effort I managed to get myself through the door. With 5 balloons in hand, we can do the final track of Dino Domain, Hot Top Volcano. But in order to have some kind of cliffhanger for the next time, the final track of this domain we're not going to do today. I will leave you with this. This has been the introduction to Diddy Kong Racing. We have seen how it works. But in order to keep some content for the upcoming episodes, I'm not going to finish the entire first world already in the first episode. That I will save for next time. Hope you enjoyed this introduction episode. Next time, more serious business. And hopefully I'm actually able to control the airplane then. But okay, thanks for watching Diddy Kong Racing Part 1. See you tomorrow. Treecks out.